Welcome to Godspeed TV. GSD is your host, Spiritual Bruce Lee, Homo. Tonight we're gonna let the queen and the sisters talk. If you haven't liked, subscribe, share, please. That's all I ask. You know what I'm saying? Get the word out. But, let's get into tonight's show, and it's called. I forgot what the hell I call this, but let's go. Get yourselves together, roll up. It's Sadavila, darkest hour.
It's the darkest hour.
And we're gonna let the queens take over. Special guest Yeshua. Yes,
You claim my heart.
more
You came alone. It's a perfect world. I'm the perfect girl. You're the nightmare. I'm the dream. It's a perfect world. I'm the perfect girl.
like I said, it's Godspeed TV. I'm here, Yeshua, level up,
It's the
NRG,
darkest hour.
Daemon.
In our forest home.
Level up movement.
You climbed the trees in my heart. You came alone. It's a perfect world. I'm the perfect girl. It's a perfect world. I'm the dream.
Leveling up movement, NRG, Daemon. I'm here, Yeshua. Tonight's show. For the queens, sisters, ladies, females, brothers.
It's a perfect world. I'm the perfect
You
girl.
only go so high as y'all allow us. Thinking in our mind, the action and manifestation, we want to feel it. I don't want to make love for either. Revelation. You gotta keep going. All the hymns, for Valentine's, who we got left? For life.
It's a perfect world.
You got turned out.
I'm the perfect girl.
Children out here hungry.
It's a perfect world. I'm the dream.
All right, let's get into tonight's show. This NRG Daemon. We're gonna keep going.
New shit. NRG Daemon. Dragon's Lair Entertainment.
Yeah, baby. I like this feeling. I like this feeling. I like this feeling. I like this feeling. I am a beast. Call me maleficent. They say I'm Luciferian. My rhymes is always hella sick. Shining like a star while your bars is irrelevant. The only time you fire is when you douse with some kerosene. My flow is lit. Esoteric heroin. Esoteric dopeness. Massive explosion. I levitate on the mic, bitch. When I go in, my skin get crystal Most exalted, no wonder how I fell down. I got a Uzi sitting back in my compound. I got an ego the size of the demi-urge. Spit my verse in Aramaic, translate from cuneiform. I take off like a jet, I'm flying like a unicorn. Watch these bitches come off my orgasmic ear porn. Sunshine in the day, watch my lyrics glisten. Moonshine when I rhyme, slide in position. I'm a beast with these bars, surgical precision. Most ancient energy, popping since BCE. I'm like the devil, even if you don't believe in me, I'm guaranteeing one day you motherfuckers seeing me. Let my wings spread as I move so increasingly. You all stare blindly while I move so intriguingly. I jump through wormholes, move up to hyperspeed, chilling comfy in my vessel, move close in 3D. Butt naked, smoking hashies in a teepee. Now drink this shit up like it's strawberry kiwi. Landed on your planet, park my spaceship in Fiji. I conjure up light bodies moving like it's Ouija. First I walk on water, then I parted on the Red Sea. Mix a potion in the ocean, sipping on some herb tea. Libra rice, Taurus sun, Jim Moon, Cat 3, Morning Star, first created, God's first MC. Bitches shake their asses when they words fall empty. Energy day moon, lyrical kanya shinte. My lane you wanna hit, babe, mente. Slice a bitch up like I'm Dragon Leia Sensei. These really want the whole selling pussy in a whorehouse. I'm the fire truck to come and put these little whores out. Everyone at attention, Dragon Leia in the building. Line up, in position, I can't direct no sneak dissing. Try to warn you host, but you dumb bitches never listen. I'm the judge, say your honor, just caught a life sentence. Open up the portal and I walk through, literally. If you want that power, then you conjure up energy. All that bullshit is a past, distant memory. Don't worry about the fee, this one's complimentary.
Now.
We on the rise right now, we on the rise. We on the rise right now, we on the rise. We on the rise right now, we on the rise. We on the rise right now, we on the hey. We on the rise right now, we on the rise. We on the rise right now, we on the rise. We on the rise right now, we on the rise. We on the rise right now, we on the rise. No more lies, no more lies, no more lies. No more lies, no more lies, no more lies. We on the rise, we on the rise, we on the rise. No more lies, no more lies. Yeah. Let me pause that. I'm back, y'all. It's your girl, Shara the Goddess, and I'm back just like I never left. As y'all can see, I was just vibing, y'all. Listening to some instrumentals, and as you heard, I was doing a little, freestyle or whatever, and that beat was giving me the energy of we on a rise right now. We on the rise. We on the rise right now. We on the rise. Y'all better know that because we are definitely on a rise, y'all. No more lies, y'all. Anyway, thanks for joining me, y'all. Thanks for joining me. If this is your first time here, I am Shara the Goddess. Before you leave, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that bell so you can be notified every time I'm dropping another video. Anyway, so y'all, I want to talk about something that is extremely important. Extremely important. Because y'all gotta know this.
AKA Carter.
We in the Matrix, y'all. We in the Matrix, y'all.
Relax.
And that's a beautiful thing. Once you unlearn and relearn this new information, relearn, because the information is already stored within you, Black woman and Black man. You must know this. So it's just about getting past all of the smoke and mirrors, getting past all of the illusions, and being back in tune with who you truly are. But yeah, y'all, I just wanted to say that, yeah, we in a matrix. And when you are experiencing life, you must know that you will always be in a matrix. See, when most people hear about the Matrix, they think about that movie that we seen, But what I want to tell y'all is that the Matrix, or shall I say a matrix, is a place where you can experience life physically. So since we, Black women and Black men, we are the actual creator, we're going to always experience some form of a matrix.
Let's see. Welcome, family. It's your host, Pomo, from Godspeed Nation. Be sure to sign up for the website, godspeedning.com, if you haven't. Where to get all your info at. Welcome, family. God's GSD broadcast brought to you by godspeedning.com, where the universe is the sum total of all knowledge and the balance between which is known and unknown. So if you haven't signed up, be sure to sign up. Trust me, get you a glass of lemon water, and it's a journey. You know, there's something you might pick up, leave, but you definitely gonna come back. And tonight's show is a new series that we have one of the queens from Godspeed Nation. Her name is Samira Yashira, and tonight's topic is from the gods of the gods to the gods of the earth. Walk with me into the light. How you doing, Queen?
Blessings. It's an honor. It's an honor to be able to actually be able to speak to the nation. I'm honored to be able to, reach out to the masses. And I just thank you for giving me this platform. And Shamara Yeshaya, Shamara meaning protected by God, and Yeshaya meaning God lends me favor, and he sent me. So the name Shamara Yeshaya is not just a name. It has a lot of power in that name. It's a Hebrew name, and it was given to me by the Most High.
Okay, that'll work. And well, tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, this is for those who don't know, this is a Godspeed Nation broadcast, and we share pretty much sciences from the website. Different god bodies and goddesses have blog talks on here. And before we start, I'd like to give a shout out to Chaz Deadly, and Saru, and my man Brian the Scientist, Alchemist, Benita Arset, and many more. My man B Solo, and whoever I forgot. That's just some of the members of the nation. And this is something new. So, Queen, what inspires you? I mean, tell us a little bit about your journey before we start, like as far as waking up. Or how did it happen?
All praise to the Most High. All of this belongs to Him. All the praise and all the honor. I'm just a body being used by the Spirit. So therefore, I know now that I'm not just here on the earth. Something prior to all of my awakening, I went on a journey. It was like literally, I couldn't understand why people were so hateful and why people were so against each other and why people wouldn't share and why, if someone made it, they wouldn't help the others make it. And just a world, I felt like I was just an alien in the world, like nobody understood me. And because I felt so secluded, it pushed me towards more of, God. Like I just knew that if nobody else on the earth really understood me, I knew I could actually release myself to Him. So in that process of me being pushed away by the people, family, I'm talking work, co-workers, I'm talking friends, children, my baby's father, everyone. I literally didn't have nobody in my corner, and it made me realize something is wrong. Something's not right with the earth. Like something's not right with the people. They claim to love God, but it's so easy for them to turn you away when you're in the midst of needing God. So if you love God, yeah.
Can you hear me? Do I sound clear?
I can hear you. Yep.
Okay, I sound clear. Okay, go ahead.
Back to that. And like I stated in previous videos, the Matrix is a beautiful place. It's just that our Matrix got hacked by these parasitic entities. It's just like, think about if you had a computer, right? And your computer got hijacked. That's it. But before your computer was hijacked, it was running quite smoothly, quite fine. So know that the Matrix is what it is.
Yo, what's the deal? What's the deal? It's your girl NRG Day Moon, coming live and in full effect with the Brassy 6 podcast, where everything we talk about is magical. And the conversation for today is who is in control of your destiny? Well, this is inspired by Cosmic Chlorophyll, and I say let us take our destiny into our own hands. I love the word abracadabra as just a magical, powerful spell that we can use. Abracadabra means to create. It means I create as I speak, which is why I also call my label Abraxas. It is, I create like the word. How powerful is that statement? I create like the word. I hold the shield of wisdom and I wield the whip of power. So when it comes to this matrix that we live in, it's really considered a demiurge. And the demiurge is considered the craftsman or the agent who took all the leftover chaos matter and arranged it in according to a model of eternal form, a matter that created this world and the men. Showstopper, peace. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm just hopping in really briefly. So this world is what we would call being placed in the 13th dimension. And I was heavily in thought thinking about when I came, or I should say elevated out of a constructed religion and more into spirituality.
Okay. See.
So interrupt. I just need to make sure. Oh no, it's okay. In that process, it just kind of pushed me towards finding out, what it is that God really wanted from me. And because I was in so much turmoil, nothing was going my way, nothing was working. Everything I tried was not right. I was running into like dead ends and a complete 360. I would start and then I would go and then I would end up back where I was at. And it was just like, it was unexplainable. And the moment I actually took time to get into the word by myself without a pastor or without a Bible study or without someone else leading me to the scripture, I just went to the scripture on my own. And things were revealed to me slowly. And I started to realize that, he was speaking to me through his scripture, which was in Exodus in the beginning. And he talked about Moses parting the Red Sea, and he talked about the bondage that the ancestors or the descendants to Moses, Isaac, Abraham, and Jacob would have to go through. And a lot of that just matched up to my life. Like I felt like I was definitely one of the people that was put in bondage, and I couldn't get out of it. So from that, from me reaching out to the source myself, I started to have Bible study on my own. I would have Bible study at home. I would, me and my friends, we would talk about God. We would laugh about God. It wasn't so much as, he was a angry God. We would make fun with him. We had fun with him. Even though we were still in the world, we still stepped out of the world to actually find out more of God together. And in that process, it was just a slow awakening. It didn't happen overnight. It took me 7 years to actually go through my journey.
We're inside of a big old matrix, and we will always experience a matrix. But it depends on what matrix you end up in. It depends on you. So that just leads me to the topic that I want to talk about today. And that topic is don't end up on the wrong timeline. Do not end up on the wrong timeline. You got to know that this rabbit hole goes very deep, and it's always more to know, more to find out, more to be revealed to you, because everything has been hidden from you.
I thought about when I came up out of that, and I immediately went into dealing with Orishas, and I started to see that there was another pattern. When you come up out of one form of spirituality, you go straight into another, and there's still a structure that you must follow. And then when I came up out of that, it was another thing and a structure that I still had to follow. Even when it comes to astrology, which is my Achilles heel, which I love so much, I'm constantly looking to the stars. But in all reality, not even the stars can dictate my destiny. It was essentially me giving over power from one form to another form to another form.
And it forced the Most High forced.
Okay. Let me ask you something before you go on, because it's a couple of points you hit. Remember, we're going to stay on the journey, but it's a couple of points you hit. When you said laugh, I'm gonna start there, then I'm gonna go back a little bit. And when you said laugh, so at that point you realized God wasn't this gloom and doom, God, this angry, jealous, I'll kill you God. He was more like a father that was a cool father or a cool brother or a cool uncle. You know, he had love for you, but every now and then he'll show you a joke about something, you know, somebody lost, or he got jokes. You know, if you woke, God got plenty of jokes. You know, he'll show you some crazy shit. And you just be like, wow, okay, that's when you got to know him. So you kind of understood it wasn't the church God as if you don't follow these laws, you did. It was more so of a father figure. If you know, you can imagine what a father figure is. You know, he's stern and disciplined, but he still loves you. He ain't gonna let you hit that flow. But he ain't gonna let you get out of pocket either. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have respect for yourself and other people. And go back to when you said you went through a lot of stuff. I'm gonna ask the question, was it a certain synchronicity to what you went through? I mean, was it like it was synchronized to where you asked yourself, wait a minute, either I'm somebody special or something is totally wrong, you know, because when you waking up or when you got a mission, most people life that just don't have a mission. I mean, things happen either here or there. But when you have a mission and you're going down the wrong path or you falling deeper to sleep, that the ancestors or the fourth Agent Smith will be allowed to shake your life up so much that you won't be able to see it no way but synchronized bullshit. Am I right or wrong?
See.
So I want to bring this to your attention about different timelines. See, right now we're rocking out in a timeline where we are moving into the old timeline and we're heading into the new timeline, which is the 5D timeline. Now, when I say don't end up in the wrong timeline, you better know this. You need to know this. You need to always just remember this, that depending on where you're at energetically, and when I say energetically, I'm talking about subconsciously, energetically, wherever you're at there, that would be the timeline that you end up on. Now, I don't know if y'all ever knew about different timelines and things like that, but if you haven't, I want to just break it down briefly. So, for us that are here now, we've been on this 3D timeline. Now, don't get it confused. The third dimension was intended to be, a great dimension, which is still, it could be, but like I just mentioned, we got hijacked.
Very true. You're very right, and you hit a good point. Pretty much in my situation, because everybody has a different walk and everybody has a different sin that they actually fall into, and they are trapped in their own bondage. Everybody has their own. So for me, I've always been an entertainer. I've always liked music, dancing, acting, modeling, singing, writing. This is something that's been a natural capability of mine since I was a youth. Okay. So once I grew up, I always thought, I knew I was going to be a celebrity or I would be famous. This is what as a little girl, I always knew this. And so when my mother passed away, I couldn't really actually do the things that I was doing prior to her being alive. So what happened was, instead of me going to the big spotlight, I had to I became a stripper. And when I became a stripper, it was like, okay, I'm getting the attention that I want. I'm getting the money that I want. It's like, okay, well, I guess this is the closest I'm going to get to celebrityism that I'm going to get. When I did it, it wasn't for the sexual immortality. It was for the survival and for taking care of my daughter. Like, as a single mother, a lot of us call.
Let me pause you there. It's the same reason niggas sell drugs. It's the same shit.
Exactly.
It's the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is. It really is. Because I'm a woman, because you're a man, you can't do what I do, and I can't do what you do. Some women are able to be able to step into a man's world and do that, but a lot of men don't step into the woman's world and realize that we do the same thing. It's just in a different way. So we hustling, and we doing it to support our families. So in that process, when I started to do those things, it wasn't so much as me being like, oh, I'm a stripper, I'm a bad person. It was like, Oh, here come the family. Let me move around.
It's like when they say don't go to your altar, you have to have all these rules. Don't go to your altar naked. When you talk to your ancestors, do it like this. When you do that, do it like this. Who is really to determine that? Peace to the Legend Fox in the building, GX. Famous battle rapper in the building. You know what I'm saying? Brother definitely spits on some esoteric and metaphysical levels. I definitely love it. But my whole thing was, I noticed when I came up out of one structure, it was one structure after another, after another, after another. Kind of what they call the onion effect. Each time you peel back a layer, there's another layer. But we sit here and it's like we sit here and we come up out of Christianity, and then we go into the next thing, and there's structures, there's orishas, there's what the orishas like and what they don't like. There's magic, and then there's the grimoire, there's what you should do and what you shouldn't do. But at some point, we have to realize that all the power comes from within us.
But the third dimension is the physical dimension. Taste, touch, smell, is where you get to experience life in a physical form. The only thing that has happened is, like I said, we got hijacked. The vibration of the third dimension was lowered. It was very, very low vibrational. So now what is happening is that we are shifting, like I said, to that 5D, that fifth dimension timeline. Meaning that, I'm going to give y'all an example. There's a lot of people out there who are still asleep to this information. They are like the walking, I don't even want to say walking zombies, but they are like they are the people that are still asleep in this matrix. They don't realize or understand what's really going on, where they're at. They're just following what they are being told every day by the AI program. So for those people, they will remain on the low vibrational timeline. Now, for us awoken people, we have an opportunity to shift into a new timeline, meaning that we're going to still all coexist on Earth, but we will all be experiencing Earth at different perceptions. I mean, we're going to have different reflections.
It was more like, okay, I'm dancing, I'm in this position, but this is not where I want to be. You know, God, I would talk to him and ask him, why am I doing this? Like, why am I here? But in the process, I had to use my beauty to get what I needed. So because I knew that was something I was good at, I was like, okay, well, all I got to do is get cute and just go in here and get the money. I don't have to do nothing for it. And so it made it easier for me to actually commit that sin. And once I opened that door, here comes 7 more sins. So it became an alcohol demon, and then the sex demon, and then the lie demon, and the manipulating demon. And all these demons came along with me stepping into this world. Now, prior to this, I would never have been a stripper. If my mother didn't die, I don't think I ever would have stepped into that world. She raised me a different way. This was totally me. I cannot blame this on nobody. And a lot of people do this in their walk. They blame it on, well, I had a bad upbringing and I didn't have no money and my mama didn't have this. Yeah. I don't blame it on that.
Because that's just an excuse to keep doing what you're doing. You know, that's an excuse. That's like what a lot of majority of the people do. You know, they use that excuse of what happened as the trauma in their life to keep furthering the bullshit that you're doing in the present time. Yeah. And that's not, like you said, that's not the way to go. But a lot of times that pain, that thing you went through, was made you is who you is today. And you can be farther evolved if you just go the right way. If you use it for a crutch, you're going to go backwards. And it's going to, you're not looking for happiness then. You're not looking for one. That means you just want to be on bullshit and you become something what we call agent. If you stay kicking it with that bullshit ass excuse, then you become a sacred agent. So where you just can't be turned. You just fucked up person. So try to X that out. Use that as a bad memory to know there's pain in this world and people go through shit. So don't get too high on your horse. So use that, then father yourself and find a God body or God or goddess. Go ahead, Queen.
Contact the ancestors. The ancestors are me in this dimension and inside of me. You manifest like the word. You don't say you're going to do something. It's the difference between people who say they're going to do something, keep chanting it over and over, and then the people who actually go and they apply the recipe to do it. This is what I need to do to get to where I want to go. I want to write a book. Damn, let me go buy a typewriter. Maybe not a typewriter, but I'm old school. I like to hear that click, 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 click. You know what I mean? Go get you a new laptop. You want to do music, start where you can start. There's a code to all of this, but you have to create like the word. You can't just speak the word. Works without faith is dead. So Jenny says, it was explained to me, not rules, but
I'm vibrating high. I have a high vibration. The reality that I will experience will be a lot different than a person whose vibration is very low. Even though we're all going to be occupying the same space, my lifestyle, the reality that I experience will be completely different than a person who is not activated, a person who is not aware. They will be experiencing even more chaos. Because right now, us awoken souls are coming out of chaos. But we got to remember that is a very important time, because right now it's like when you jump in the gate. It's easy for us, even awoken people, to still get pulled back into that old reality, that old timeline, because of all of the chaos that appears to be, all of the distractions, all of the everything, all of the madness. So this is why it's very important for us awoken people to take control of what we are doing every day and be consciously aware of what's going on, what we're paying attention to, things of that nature.
Although when I was in the dark, I can say that I never had lost my light. I would always say that I was the light in the darkness. Even though I was in a dark place, I still held the light of the Most High. I didn't know Most High. I would just consider him to be God. And I never lost.
Okay, let me pause there. Hold on. Let me pause there. You're saying a lot. Let me just break it down. Hold on. I got you. Okay, so when you say that, you just see, I'm listening to what you're saying. The key thing is, I was stripping, but I asked God, why am I here? 99% of the females in there ain't even thinking that thought. Just for you thinking that thought, you knew you already won. You already knew some type of way you was won. You just didn't have no mirror. You didn't have no reflection. You didn't know why you was thinking this shit. Because nobody else thinking it. Just saying, but that means you chosen. You had to go when we came back from the ether, came here. We know then in the ether very well that what we call bullshit and pain, there's a transform mechanism, a change mechanism, or it's a train to get you from one place to another. We understand that there, but here in the earth, we understand it as bullshit in our life because we took in this body, and in this body, that's what it tells us. But if you can reroute your mind and understand that's just a transform point. So when you go through certain things in your life that seem like hell, that's true. It's a transform point. So
definitely.
Our crafts. You know, I'm tired of people taking terms, words, energies, and misdirecting them because you're still associating religion with energy instead of astrology, which is really what all of this is based off of. It's still in your heart and it's still in your mind. And so you want to have one foot in and one foot out, but you still don't even have a balance when it comes to spirituality or religion. Just a bunch of evil motherfuckers saying some dumb shit all the time. You know, and it's interesting because I'm not going to sit here and debate race and politics and things like that, because my channel is about magic. It's about transformation. And could you imagine if everyone actually got along and got past differences and were able to meditate on just one note, what we could possibly do? Because the power of mind power, quantum mechanics, thought.
Because if we don't become very militant, then we're gonna easily fall back into that old timeline, and we don't want to do that anymore. Like that ain't what it's given. Like that ain't what we came here for. We came here to experience greatness, good vibes only, abundance. You know, so a lot of people talk about the new earth. Well, the new earth is changing. Like I always say, the earth is heating up, the sun is heating up. So you got to make sure that you're on that same frequency. And it's just going to be different timelines out here for different people.
You told yourself that I'm going to always remember who I am, even though I'm going to fall asleep. So what the universe do is in order to wake you up, because when you grow up, everything lolly, everything cool, everything kind of dead. And they know at a certain point, if they don't send the agent of bullshit or the synchronicity Smith or allow.
Just did it, witnessing as it go.
Hello?
Yeah, we still there. Oh, I got you.
Okay.
If they don't allow shadow walkers to fuck with you, then you wouldn't grow. And you become like a rich kid, spoiled, have no empathy or sympathy. You know what I'm saying? And you'll think money is your God and you won't need God, so you don't have to act right. So that's why the universe knows it sends people and it can't lose them people because you're very precious. There's not that many actions why am I here looking for God. Even in the void of knowledge, you're still looking for God. So that's how you know you from heaven trying to figure this earth shit out. And you're not from earth trying to find heaven. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when I was in that world, yeah.
Right, I'm going to give you an example. When I was growing up, I had innocence. I always asked the same question, why is the world so mean? Why does this little nigga with all candy want to keep it? How do that feel to want to keep all that candy you can't eat instead of passing it to the fellas? I didn't understand his thinking. So as time goes on, you know what I'm saying, I'm looking for God and man, I'm looking for God and man, I'm looking around. I got fasting, I'm fasting, short, the man behind me don't pay. He said, give me 5 and walk the fuck out the store or pump 6.
Right.
Now I'm looking for God and man will say, I got the shorty food and give me some gas. So I didn't see that. So as time go on, I knew the world was getting cold. So as I got older, situation in life, like you had shook up. My mother died. She was still physically alive, but the things that happened in our life, the shadow walkers that was there that I didn't have a name for, was deep into our reality. So, you know, he shook the situation up enough to where I had to go out and pick up the drugs. This was my initiation. This is what you call going through hell to get to heaven. So in that, I found pain, I found God, I found all that. I found jail, I found gunshots, I found fights. I got shot at, all that shot. I found all that. And then through that, I always had this thing in my mind is, first of all, don't never kill nobody. And I said, I know I'm in this, but it's just what time it is of being. I know I'm in this because, you know, this can't be what my life is. So I'm going to use this to get me back, but I know I got to get up out of it. Now I'm asking myself, why am I thinking like this too at the same time? Because the nigga next to me don't automatically respond. Nigga run up, he blowing his head off. Nigga run up, I'm thinking like, hold on, I ain't gonna kill a nigga. And then what? I'm gonna go to jail, then I'm gonna get footed for, you know, what the fuck? I ain't gonna do that. And I'm thinking something wrong with me because I'm not on automatic respond like this cat. But the power of God was so strong in me, it kept me still knowing who the fuck I was. Like, no, I ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just using this as a crutch. So I didn't know what that was. And in the void of knowledge, it's slowly, like you said, become you. From niggas to God, you know, and that type of stuff. Slowly become you. As long as you can hold on to that thought and know that thought it has to be louder than any other thoughts in your mind.
So it's really interesting how these energies really work. You know, any energy will find you to use you and allow yourself to be a tool for that energy. A lot of people out here got mental illness and need to address that. spirituality is a good way to address it, because really the therapy helps, but I think you got to have some base for it.
Like I just mentioned, like some people are going to end up in the low vibrational timeline where they're going to be stuck in confusion. They're going to be stuck in madness. They're going to be stuck in a hellish state. It's going to be like they're in hell. Not physically, but mentally, emotionally. Their energy will be continuously drained by these AI programs. So know that if you don't stay grounded, then you may end up in that same timeline.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. But no, I'm understanding what you're saying, because I had to go through it. My main thing was never kill nobody. Then God sent the angels to talk to me. And the last dude was a Jewish dude with a retarded son. I'm on the bus with my hair, wild as hell. My eyes red. And it was just me and him. A couple more people got on. I knew he was finna sit by me, and that's what the hell he did. He had his son Snow. They sat by me, and the crazy old Jewish dude talking to a black nigga with his eyes red. He started asking me about school. And I was like, no, I was like, fuck, no, I don't fuck with, I ain't in college and all that. He said, well, I'm going to keep the truth to you. I was like, I'm wondering what the fuck going on. And he told me a story. He basically said through his life, Satan ravaged his life. He was one of the ones that made it through all his friends were dead. But he told me in the end, the only thing I know is the feeling that I felt God. And the aspect that never give up. That's what he told me. That's what I remember. So this is where you see me now. I've been to many points where I felt, should have, or could have gave up, but if I would have, I wouldn't have been right here right now. So he was telling me, but I didn't know why he was telling me that until life goes on. So I got the message early.
Right.
And the reason I said I felt the voice of God, even though he was right, because God said, you're going to remember this moment. If I come to you and the nigga said this, you ain't going to remember it. But if you come to you with a white dude saying this, and you feeling these chills, these vibes, where you giving away money when you get off, it's me. And that means with that I can come talk to you either way I want. I ain't got time to wait for a bunch of black niggas with the right soul and the right chakra set up where I can spill my energy in for them to talk to you. I'm gonna find the closest race or whatever I can. Because half of you niggas is deep into lower self, so your chakra's fucked up, and the universe is looking past you. So now you got Eminem, and you got these righteous white boys and all that, and come on, go ahead, Queen. I'm sorry.
Hope you all do, as we go through this series of breaking generational curses. Breaking these curses is remembering who you are as a person, as a people. I don't want to sit here and talk about fucking immigrants when this whole land was built on immigrants. It's the whole thing.
I mean, you were actually Aboriginal.
Absolutely.
Right. Aboriginal, yeah.
Blackfeet tribe, shamanistic, gifts passed down.
So you have more claim than most.
It's funny, I was, just talking about that the other day on the live when I was saying, my father, he always used to be like, I want you to look more into your Aboriginal roots. He used to always tell me I was Blackfeet Indian. I did not believe him for a very long time until I researched the information. And, I was glad to be able to tell him, after the fact that it was true. And so that led me to having to go and do more research. What about Black people? We built this country. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I'm not planning on moving back to Africa. No, hell no. This is my motherfucking land, and this is where I lay claim to. It is what it is.
But we too woke for that, y'all. We too woke for that. And this is where discipline comes in on a day-to-day basis. You got to make sure that you are disciplining yourself. And when I say disciplining yourself, that means taking accountability for what you are paying attention to on a day-to-day basis and what you are doing. Because, it's different timelines out here for everybody. Different timelines are out here for everybody. I did a video on the Mandela effect. And the Mandela, if you don't know anything about the Mandela effect, it's very real. I'm telling y'all, we live in a stranger than fiction reality. So for a lot of people, I'm going to give y'all another example, y'all. Let me say this. It's just like, let me see how I want to word this.
No, it's okay. I wanted to just speak on the fact that, I mean, because we know what actually had us in darkness, we actually realized the problem. The problem was we were being deceived. We were being dragged into darkness. We didn't just wake up and want to be, in that dark life, in the darkness. If we didn't go through it, see, this is what I realize now. I had to go through that stuff. I had to go through walking through the valley of the shadow of death, but not fearing any evil because I knew that he was with me. So although that we were in those dark places, those places brought us to the light. If we didn't actually go through the dark, we would have never made it to the light. So in order to see the light, you have to go through darkness first. So, right now, a lot of people downplay the strippers. They talk bad about them. Sometimes they get uplifted and praised, but for the most part, don't no man want to marry a stripper. They talk bad about them. They pimp them and do whatever they want to. However, I can reach them and I can talk to them in a way that others don't. Others put them in a place where it's like, you're no good. You're damaged goods. God don't love you. And that's not the truth. So because they haven't been there and they don't really know what it's like to do it, like you, and you have to sell drugs. So that those dudes standing on the corner, they taking chances. They can get shot and robbed. They can get, the police can take them. Somebody can come and steal their drugs. They can get caught up in a dilemma where they owe somebody. It's many, many things that come along with just deciding to sell drugs. But somebody who sold drugs before and overcame it can actually go out there and talk to them and explain to them, look at me, I did it, so I know you can do it. It's no excuses. But the people who never been through something, the people who actually just always had it to where they had it made, the people with the silver spoon, those are the ones that downplay and look at you and say, well, you didn't have to do what you did. You could have went to school. You could have got a good job or whatever, because they're not quite understanding. You might have felonies. You might have been put in the system.
No, hold on. Let me clear you up. You might have the shadow walkers in your life.
It's just like, say you are looking to manifest some material things. On the new timeline, it'll be easy for you just to manifest certain things in your life that when one time before, when you were in the old timeline, it was much harder to manifest these material things because all of the chaos that was happening, all of the low vibrational frequencies that were being pulsated at you.
Or say for purposes of waking you up, they ain't got the same purpose on earth as you. So they don't understand why you talking like you talk. They can never understand, because how can you explain to their shallow ass the synchronicity of the bullshit happening in your life? To them, they just say, oh, that's just so happened. They can't see the unseen, even though it's right there in their face.
Well, of course, and not only just not being able to see it, but they can't feel it.
Y'all get what I'm saying? I know y'all get what I'm saying. So on the new timeline, it'll be easy to manifest certain things. It'll be easy for things to show up in your life in the way that you want to experience them. It'll be much easier. And for the other people that's on the other timeline, they're going to be stuck in that low vibrational rut. And it's going to be very, very hard to get out of that because the gates may be closed.
If you in the dark, if you in darkness and you know that you you crying out and nobody really knows what you think, only you know your thoughts. So when you in the streets and you thinking everything is good, but when you in the, by yourself, you crying out to God, asking, why me? Why am I going through this? Why am I struggling so much?
So hold on. So that's Jesus when he said, Haley, so by me, my God, why have thou forsaken me, when he was on that cross? That's what you're saying. That's how it relates to us. Them the codes. That's a direct link to us. To God hears them prayers.
And then you start saying things like God don't love me. How he loved me, but he let me struggle. How he loved me, but he took my mama. How he loved me, but my brother is in jail for life. And he knew that I needed my brother. And he loved me so much. Why would he leave me in the struggle? This is what you start saying to yourself. I mean, it's natural. It's natural to say these things, but what really matters is the people that supposedly are awakened. So if you are in darkness and you go to a church, because I still was in church when I was in darkness, I still went to a church faithfully, and I paid tithes, and I did the whole church thing, and I still knew, because they say he died on the cross for my sins, so he's got to love me. But why am I struggling so much? And the people that were supposedly awakened, seeing me fall into darkness, they weren't there to say, look, I'm going to give you a job. It's not going to be as much as you would make in a regular job, but here you can make $5 an hour if you just cut my grass. Or if you want to wash my car, I'll give you $20 right now so you don't have to go and lay down with somebody. Or if I'm asking for a meal, say, for example, I'm on the streets and, some guys, they will walk up to me, hey, what's up, little mama, and all that. I'm really not trying to do nothing. I'm just hungry. Like, shit, what you going to do for me? Like, damn, like, that's where we actually...
Church mentality. But this is the church mentality, what you're saying. That's why you ain't in there now. You seeing that, okay, you got a business. And you got a business, and the business you give it a year span. And in that year, you see that you lost all your money, and you're going to keep investing in that business. So a church is in charge of the spiritual morality of the people. So if they're in charge of the spiritual morality of the people from the time me and you was born, and even before that, if everything is right and people are being taught right, how the fuck is we in this condition more?
Y'all got to understand that it's certain gateways and stuff in the spiritual realm. So this is why it's important to make that shift with your energy, so you will be out of that old gateway portal. I'm telling y'all, this stuff is real. It's very, very real, y'all. So I hope I broke it down. I know I ain't go too deep like I want to, but I just wanted to bring this to y'all attention briefly, that don't get stuck in the wrong timeline. Don't get stuck in the wrong timeline. Basically, it's like some of us is going to be experiencing reality, beautiful, situation, wonderfulness, abundance.
She said timeline. We'll break it down briefly to y'all too. I could be sitting right here right now, and at the end of the night, I could be in Cook County Jail. That's a timeline shift. I can be going from right here to jail, and the timeline shift dimension is, well, what happened? That's the witchcraft. What happened? Well, let's start like that. So now how the fuck I get here? They shifted your timeline. You didn't. You know what I'm saying?
Abundantness, all of the great vibes, and for majority of the population, they will be experiencing hell, chaos, and getting fed upon by these reptilians. But for us ones that's vibrating high, these reptilians can't even get close to us anymore, because our energy is going to be too big, too high for them. See, they only can feed on low vibrating energy. So this is why it's important to change up your energy, so they can't even reach you anymore. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Hope y'all enjoyed this video. Make sure y'all share this video. And yeah, y'all, take care of yourself. Till the next time, this is your girl, Shabbat the Goddess. And make sure you don't end up in the wrong timeline. Till the next time, bye-bye.
Why we ain't canceled this plan? Why is this plan still running? The first people is the same people that threw them rocks and crucified Jesus. It's the same people. That's how I look. The church people that's thinking they on the inside looking out is the motherfucker really who crucified them. Because people like us is walking the walk, talking the talk. And then they'll crucify your ass when you talk to them, like, look at you like you crazy, because they never seen the death and the resurrection. That means they don't really believe that which they think they believe.
Interesting, because we don't challenge the information that we're told. And because we are these odd deities, and then when supposedly somebody tells you what you're supposed to be, now all of a sudden you got to fit into a new box, and you're not accepted by this new group because now you're not African enough. More division. I'm gonna always help all oppressed people all over the world. And it's funny because it's just purely evil to fall in line with the thing that you claim you don't like. That's pure evil right there. That's insidious evil right there. That's something that's pierced your heart right there. You've taken on the traits of your so-called oppressors. You know what I'm saying? Don't talk to me about magic. That is magic. They were talking about the spells and the contracts we use. You know what I mean? And I understand. You know what I mean? A lot of us are sovereign. Matter of fact, Divine Divinity runs a business on it where she could teach us more about it. But we all are using some type of paperwork or documentation in order to be here. So I think what we should be focused on, because of old and outdated things that are no longer useful to us, is creating new things that are beneficial to us and to be able to help us move forward. What about sovereignty can help us right now? You know what I mean? What about learning about all religions and combining the aspects that work for us and creating new philosophies that work for us versus on continuously going in the past? Yo, I've had enough Sankofas.
And that's very true. But you have to look at the church and say, how many of us are really in darkness in the church, and how many of us are just in brainwash techniques? Because, you know, I believe in my heart that it's many, many children of the Most High that scattered amongst all religions. They're in the Christian faith, they're in Buddha faith, they're in the Catholic faith, Jehovah's Witness. We are actually being brainwashed to believe that this is the right way. But somewhere along the way, they wake up. It's something that the pastor says. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying they made us gangbang. Gangbangers gangbang in church, and religious people gangbang. Because what you're saying is my side is the shit and yours ain't. Go ahead. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm listening.
No, go ahead. I'm done. I was just saying that you said there's many religions. They done broke us down in many religions, 13 pieces. They done scattered the pieces all over the earth. Set and scattered the mission, just scattered pieces all over the earth. And I said the great Mother God is trying to put them back together. And when she said the choicest one is his phallus, which is his dick, and resurrect. Is a resurrected dick that's just short in that form, but it means the nigga resurrect. She's trying to wake him up. So she showed resemblances of him in movies. She slide through and make certain movies and certain things to show you your image of your true self, if you're able to catch it.
And understanding the dark places. I mean, you know, I talk about the dark places because I love to really actually have this testimony. This testimony is not to be hidden. It's not to be ashamed of. Most of his children are going to go through the slums. We're going to actually have to go through everything that the children are going through so that we can actually reach them. Why would someone who is addicted to alcohol but trust what I say if I've never been addicted to alcohol? Why would someone that is in selling drugs, why would they believe that, oh, I'm going to be able to help them when I ain't never sold drugs in my life? I mean, you got to be able to go through what these people are going through to actually know what they feeling. And so the Most High allowed us to see dark. That's why I appreciate the dark. I don't look at the darkness and say, oh, I was a bad person. I was actually going through it because he made me go through it so that I can have a compassionate heart and I can have compassion when it's time for me to go out here and reach the children. I don't have to judge you or talk bad about you. God loves you. The Most High God loves you no matter what sin you commit. If you woke up today, you have another opportunity to fix yourself. If you die tonight and you in sin, it's over. It's nothing you can do.
You gotta come back and do this bullshit all over.
I'm trying to look in the forward. Old and outdated shit do not work no more. We in a new age. We in a new time. I don't even want to hear about how you're not big here, you're big esoterically. Motherfucker, we right here though. And if you're not big here, I doubt you're big there. If you just talking a bunch of nonsense, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to start quoting books and references and things like that. But that's not the way that I was taught. It really isn't. Because there's a difference in how people learn and their energies and things of that nature. And when I was going to school, I had an actual teacher. His name was Black Existence. He had a school. We would go there and he would give me assignments. He would tell me something and tell me to go look it up. He wouldn't say, here's your assignment, here's the book, here's the answer. You know what I mean? Because what is the point of that? I'm not even doing my own research at that point. And there's so much to learn. There's so much that we claim even as African that don't even belong to Africans when you research it. When you even, think about the hair. When we even talk about the twist, does it come from India or does it come from Africa? My oldest research says it comes from India. We'll claim it comes from Africa. But my whole thing is, why the fuck does it matter? Wear your hair how you want to wear your hair. This is about that spiritual journey. Peace, Eva. Hi, babes. How are you? This is about that spiritual journey. So I wanted to come on here the day before I go live, because we gonna get back right where we left off from the last live when we was talking about when I conjured up that gem. We're gonna do that tomorrow. But this channel is about subconscious, paranormal, elevation. This channel is about magic, chaos, meditation. That's what this channel is about. If you seeing Lucifer scared you, then this is not the channel for you. I mean, I don't take offense to it. I don't take offense to you disagreeing with things I say. I don't take offense to you disagreeing with how I don't take offense to none of that. But this is my platform, or at least I am allowed to use this portion of their platform to say what I would like to say in the way in which I would like to say. And a lot of you don't even understand, and I've been talking about it for already now years, that I am a Taurus sun. I am a Taurus sun. That is Venus, the morning star, Lucifer energy. I can't help it if in your mind you associate Lucifer with you associate Lucifer with the devil instead of illumination. Okay, because there was a sun before it was a sun. And I want you to also understand that sometimes when I get pissed off, I might giggle. Doesn't mean that I don't take your plight serious. But you got to also understand I'm a Gemini moon. I have to really, want to have to argue with you or go back and forth. I don't really want to do that. I want us to always be talking about things that are helping us gain a better understanding of who we are, who we want to be, how we want to manifest what we want to manifest. I want everyone to feel welcome on my platform. I don't care about none of that shit. None of it. I've lost so many friends. I live a real life, and I don't want to be online arguing, disagreeing about your theory on how you get yours and how I go about getting my spirituality. Not everybody is going to agree. We need to agree to disagree. So I just feel like it's a lot of people who say that they are gods, yet they continuously talk about everything except coming together. It's always divisiveness. But if you guys are looking for some good meditation, I use Joel Hypnotics, and I use that because at one point in time I was having an issue with my clairs. And for those of you who don't know what clairs are, they just have to do with different gifts, different senses that they say we all have. I do believe that we all have them, but I do also believe that they are like muscles, and that if you don't use them, that you lose them. You can look up your clairs and how to use them. And we can, that's a whole nother topic, but I did a reading with Kay Moon, and, I had discovered some very interesting things, and she had recommended QQHT therapy. And I looked into it, and I didn't necessarily want to go and get somebody to guide me through it because I do my own. And I found his channel, and his meditations are absolutely brilliant as far as working on the subconscious. Another thing that I wanted to say was, when it comes to meditation, I'm an air sign. So it was always difficult for me to be able to concentrate to meditate. I didn't want to sit there quietly. I don't want to have my legs folded. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I have a lot of energy. I'm a Libra rise, and I'm that Gemini moon. I'm a work in progress. But I also learned that because I am air, one thing that I need to do is meditate to secular music and take the words that are not behooving to what I'm trying to accomplish and remove them and add in things that apply to me or myself from higher self. So I know that's difficult to explain, but I'm going to give an example. I wanted to come on for a moment and just say what's up to everyone. I had my warlock in the building tonight, but he didn't really get the chance to talk. Interestingly enough, we were talking about Samaria earlier. We were talking about the Iranians, the Aryans, and supposedly, how that originated in India. But in my personal opinion, and I'm gonna have to go dig out my books because I believe we researched this in the Allah School of Chem, that the Iranians actually came from the Iranians. And if you write the word down, you can damn near see it in there. They migrated over to India because at one point in time, there was actually no Europeans, no one of that color at one point in time.
What?
Live the same life till you figure it out. Each time you go back, it'll get better and better. Live the same life. They'll keep going
pretty much. I mean, it's like a lot of people, this is one thing that I noticed about, pastors. Pastors, they look great when they get out there. They're dressed nice. Their wives is taken care of. The family is beautiful. The church choir is on point. The church is on deck. They got the colors and color coded. It's matching and everything. They came up with a nice name, Rising Star or Mount Zion or whatever they come up with. And everything is orchestrated perfectly. It just looks so nice. And everybody like my church. I love my church because my pastor is this and my pastor is that. But I also look at the bigger picture and I say, why is it that the pastor pretends or acts like he never been through nothing? It's like he don't talk about. Yes, he has. The thing is, they don't talk about their troubles. They don't talk about when they were in darkness. They talking about us being darkness. They gonna tell you about the man on the street selling drugs, and why the ladies on the street, why they selling their bodies. But they act like they wasn't the pimp that was selling on that woman that they married right there that's sitting next to him right now. That was they hoe a long time ago when they was 14, 16, 18, and now they 55 and they sitting in this high place and they don't tell us about those days.
So we call them hollow bones. Where you doing everything, you're standing under the Mason, the Masonic order, and you start off for a second, just for a quick second that you're doing it for the people in love, but you ain't doing it for love.
We have to actually be able to be able to be real with our children. These are our children. These are right. This is what I'm saying. If we don't be honest with them and tell them that we've been where they've been, then they're never going to truly understand or believe us or believe in what we speak, because we act like we just on this pedestal because we got God. But we have to show them and let them know that we once too was in darkness, and that's what a lot of pastors don't do. So that's one reason why I actually pushed away from the church and I started having the church inside of me. The church is just an empty place. It's just an empty place until we actually get in it. And then the Holy Spirit fills that place because our bodies are there. But before our bodies get there, it's just an empty room. So it's inside of us. So when we get there, we sing praise, we do our praise worship, we do whatever we do, and we bring the Holy Spirit, because if one or two gather together, he will be in the midst. That's why it gets so heated when you're in church, because we bring it.
Well, let me ask you something. So after this realization, after you come to, I call it second stage, what was your thoughts then? Right before you found knowledge, or did you search for knowledge? And when you started,
for me, I have an incredible journey. It's such an honor to be able to say that I am a visionary, and a visionary is someone that can see the future, someone that has thoughts and be able to tell you what's going to happen in the future, and those things come to realization. I have dreams. I have different ways of communicating with the Creator. I knew when I was about 25, I started to have this it's just like an unexplainable, incredible feeling of I'm not like everybody else and I'm going to accept it. I just accepted that, okay, y'all think like this and I think like that. And I pushed away from everybody. If you don't like the way I think, then fine. We don't need to be around each other. So I started getting stronger in the process, but it took a while. It took for me to be kicked out, talked about, I'm crazy.
Your fire. You was going to war, the fifth spirit. You was going through the fifth spirit, which is the separation, the colors, the sword, the colors that they show you on the hieroglyph. So you went to war with your lower self. You was like, hold on, I realized in the sixth spirit who I am. And then when I realized who I am, I'm going to war. Going to war is going to war with some people around you. It's the same resemblance. Because what I did in the same essence is that nigga who jumped in my car and talked that Mason shit, that lower self shit, and I got tired of hearing it. So I'm saying, okay, he getting in my car, so what I'm going to do is talk that guy body shit, and they're going to get the fuck out the car. So that was my way. As soon as they hopped their ass in the car, when I just said, what's up? That nigga jump in real quick type shit. You ain't even got a chance to say nothing. I'm like, yeah. So he get to talking to us, and I start asking him questions. That's another thing. Teach by asking questions to motherfuckers that don't want to listen. Because what you doing is you crank start their mind. And when they thinking over there on their own, they'll kind of listen to you too. So y'all be building. But anyway, I just started talking that God body shit. But what happened to me is the motherfuckers started listening. They started sitting in the car listening to this shit. So I was like, okay, I didn't know this was going to happen. But it was a surprise. They didn't get out, is what I'm saying. Yeah, but that was my weapon right there. Because I had got tired of playing, with my acting, supreme acting. acting like I'm interested in Derrick Rose, got injured all the time, acting like, got tired of that shit. It took a lot of energy. But go ahead. I just want to know so in essence, saying that was your head root, that's when you went to war with the Lord self. So you start really going against the grain, so to speak, meaning that the average mind frame was telling you you're becoming different. What is your problem? That's basically how it went for you. The matrix telling you that. What are you doing? Are you stepping outside the box? How you fight that? How you know to keep being you instead of being who they want you to be?
Me personally, because I like to speak for me because I don't know everybody's journey, and I know that everybody has their own special, unique, characteristic story. Okay, because this is a real book, and we're rewriting it, and our names are in it. Okay, so the book is being rewritten with our names in it. So just know that this is a real movie. Okay, this is not just something that we making up. We didn't just wake up and say we was gonna be like this. So for me actually being able to cut out the how do I want to say it, the system, just being able to actually to look at the system like I'm not scared of y'all no more. I understand what y'all trying to do to me. Like, right, they got a system called bipolar. They got a system called depression. They got a system called schizophrenic. Mm-hmm. Right. So all these visions I think you seeing, they want you crazy. Like, I'm really having visions. Like, this is a real true story. I've seen angels and everything, like not with wings, because the way that they make it seem like angels is gonna come, they gonna have wings and they gonna fly out the sky. No, that ain't how they came. Okay, they came in a regular body and they just was borrowed. You feel me? So when I tell people the story, sometimes they be like, okay, yeah, you're crazy. Because the things that I see, they don't see. And I understand now that they're not supposed to see. It's not for you to see. He didn't choose you to see. And that's where it becomes
you gotta walk, hold on, Queen. Right, because you got to walk a walk before you can get that sight. This ain't no just skip over from Mary Lou Retton land and then pop over here because you feel like you want to be God's body. Hell no. That shit ain't easy. Everybody can't get that gift. You got to have that pain to get there. And what happens is the shit you say, they started to see. So the next time they see you, they don't really say shit. They just sit around you for no fucking reason. Or they might want to smoke with you or something just that they want to be around you. And they just talk all this dumb shit until before they leave, they'll say, hey, tell me about that God body shit you were saying the other day. Yeah, they try to make it seem like just so happened, but that's really what they want to know because what you said came to pass. The TV talk right to them as soon as they go home. You just can't be scared to death. Mm-hmm.
This ain't something that you just wake up and be like, all right.
No, initiation.
I'm going to be a Hebrew today. I'm going to be a chosen child. No, it's like you are literally, you have visions and you have thoughts and you see things that make you realize that something is wrong. What am I going through? And really, while I thought it was wrong, I woke up and realized, okay, I think the first time I actually had my realization that I knew that it was spiritual was I was in LA. I live in LA. I'm born and raised in California, Long Beach. I was raised in LA. So it was like, okay, a friend of mine he left me in a hotel. I was homeless and he left me in a hotel and I couldn't understand why. I was just like, what did I do to you to make you do this? And he was just laughing. It was funny. It was like, ha, ha, ha. And I'm like, wow, like I didn't have nowhere to stay. I didn't have nowhere to go. The room was about to be checked out at 12. I was just like, why couldn't you just drop me off? Right? Why couldn't you just drop me off?
You didn't know why you was doing that.
Look, I'm about to tell you on the real, bro. Like, this really happened to me. I'm like, so I'm on the phone with him, and I don't gangbang, but I'm around a whole bunch of killers, you feel me? So I'm like, low-key, I'm thinking about having one of my people go over there and do what they need to do. Like, you just gonna leave me here?
Illusion. So this is the perfect illusion to get you popped off. Go ahead.
So as I get ready,
I'm sorry, baby, let me pause. I'm gonna explain to the people what's going on.
Okay.
The shadow walkers is this, even though you don't get named, you haven't named them yet. There's this, even if you're not aware of just the fact that you ask them, like, what the fuck you talking about? Don't mean they don't exist. They there. It's just that until you become aware of them is when you see them, but they're there. So what they're doing is setting her up. Satan is performing an illusion, hoping she feeds into it. The thought of her saying, I know killers. They already knew she was around killers. And that I'm going to get one of them. If you ever seen the first 48 has start off as nobody, then it turn one person to two people, and she'll be in that type of mode. So now
all I had to do, bro, That's all I had to do was make one call. Like, on the real, like, I knew who I knew, and I knew that I was a good person, and things like this don't happen to me. We was cool. Me and this guy was cool for like 6-7 months. He knew I was homeless. He was helping me out. He would give me a room every now and then. You know, he would drive me to my important places that I need to go. He was like there for me. I thought he was there for me. So when I woke up, because I mean, I was comfortable around him. Usually when I'm not comfortable, I'm not going to sleep regardless. But I was comfortable around him, so I fell asleep. And when I woke up, he was gone. And I'm looking around like, did he leave me $20 or did he leave something so I can get on the bus? No, he left me. So when I called him, he was laughing like, oh, you'll be all right. Well, you know, you a real ass bitch. You know, you're going to be able to get your shit. And I'm thinking to myself like, damn, like if that's what it was, I could have just went somewhere else. So I ended up like getting at him in a way where I was like, you don't know who you messing with. This is how I got at him. I was like, you don't know who you messing with. I'm going to call out on my God. I was like, you messing with a child of God. I'm not going to fight the battle. I'm going to let him fight it for me. And I literally said these words, you're going to get what you deserve. Okay?
Right.
2 weeks later, 2 weeks, this is when I realized that I was like, whoa. I mean, for real. 2 weeks later, the man was dead. He got shot. Somebody walked up to him in his face and shot him in the face. I was angry with the man. On the streets of LA, everybody looking at me like, well, you the one that had beef with him and you the one that was mad at him. I'm like, look, yeah, he left me in a room. Okay, he left me in a room. I mean, at the end of the day.
Hold on, they ain't even going to wait till you call the people, the shadow walkers, go show their face. They going to put you in there anyway. So you wasn't really that woke. You was kind of woke. But
no, I wasn't woke at all. No, I was going through my journey. I wasn't woke.
Okay, that's why they got you. You can't see none of this. Like, how the fuck am I in this situation with just the thought that I ain't even calling nobody? This nigga
I didn't even say nothing. I didn't even really say anything about nothing about the killers. I didn't say that. I had told him. I knew in my mind all I had to do was call somebody, but I didn't say that to him because he's a gangbanger. Right? So in my mind, if I would have threatened him, if I would have threatened that man, I already knew that he had bitches that he could have had come fight me. They gangbang. So all you got to do, that's what the gangbang girls do, is they ready for war. So I wasn't finna go there with him because I was like, all right, whatever, it is what it is. You left me in the room, it's cool. I was like, don't trip. My God gonna handle it. And I promised him that he was gonna get what he deserved. But I did not know that my tongue had that much power to actually just end the situation like that.
And let me pause you. This is what we call in Godspeed science the matrix still running. This is meaning is the fact that even though she didn't call, even though she kind of sat back on the situation played out as if she did call and did handle that business, and do still died. So they kept the program running. The matrix had to keep running because she's a glitch. She was supposed to call and be locked up right now. That's how they had her written off. And now she's still here, but the shit still got to play herself out. Only she can see the glitch. Like, wait a minute. Because you don't want to know that you were still doing it.
It spooked me so much, bro. It spooked me a lot because I knew him and I cared about him and I loved him. I really was kind of like saddened by what happened, but I was like in my bubble where I knew that I went through something with him, and I knew that I went to God and I was like, God, handle my lightweight. And I knew that I was like, look, he did this to me for no reason. And at the end of the day, when it happened, it was like, whoa, I didn't mean for that to happen. You feel me? I wasn't trying to say that. That's not what I was saying. But that's the way God handled it.
Hold on. Let me tell you a story then. Aset was going through the desert, and Aset is a great mother goddess. You know, Asa, God, body and man. You know, Aset, the mother Mary or whatever, and the son Haru. But Aset was going through the desert, and she needed a place to stay, and she really didn't announce herself as being queen over the creation at that time in Egypt. And she was knocking on door to door. She knocked on the first door. Maybe the second, but she knocked on the first door. The lady looked at her. She seen her with 2 scorpions, and she slammed the door. And she like knocked again. She opened the door and she just looked. She didn't say nothing. She just slammed the door. So I said, went to another space. They let her in. They let her lay down and rest. When she went to sleep, then when she went into trance, meaning this, when you went into your God get that nigga mode, she went into trance. Meaning when she went to sleep, the scorpions crept out the crib, and they went and stung the lady. Crept in the crib and stung her. They killed her ass, the one that didn't let her in. They knew they couldn't do it while she was there because she wouldn't allow it. So they still had that vengeance, like, I'm going to get your ass, you know what I'm saying? You don't play her like that. And they went back in her absence, so they did get her back. But she, Aset, was never aware of it. So it's the same thing as what you're saying now. You see what I'm saying? The scorpions was what happened to do. It's not, your sleep represents the trance you went in. And it happened beyond your, your hands were still clean. And in that, you witness the power of your tongue and your thought. You know that? So you didn't have to actually do that and learn the hard way. But that's the story. That's a true story about, an ancient Egyptian story. You can go ahead. Oh, you still there?
All that. It's real.
Can I say something? Hold on, Queen. Yeah, do anybody got any questions? We usually take questions and answers. This is a question and answer show. Y'all can ask the Queen any question y'all like.
Please do.
I'm pretty sure she'll be able to answer it. Go ahead, B. I hear that might be the scientist. Is that you?
Yeah. How y'all doing?
What up, brother? Good to have you.
Just glad to hear you talk. And I can't really say I got a question more than just trying to share information. I mean, I just love what the flow you were getting and making sense. It's like Bobby Hammond would be able to decipher, certain events and make sense of them and put them where the brothers and the sisters can understand it. And then see how this energy works. And because that's what you was talking about earlier. You was talking about, when you see certain things, you connect with certain frequencies. You know what I'm saying? You raising your vibration up and you seeing this stuff because the way, the energy flows, you connect with some of that energy. That's what it is. And I know, you catch that. You catch that.
All day. Yeah, all day. To where it's I eat to go to sleep like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm so light. I even know the effects of one meal, and it affect me because I don't really get down like that on the food. But I eat to go to sleep, and I become so light that it's a different feeling. I don't get tired like your boy. What's his name? What's his name who made that song? Kevin Gates. I don't get tired. Yeah, she had to creep through, even the unconscious, conscious still trying to creep through, but you vibe right, and then that. Yeah, and
adding to not getting tired. The way that the Most High has revealed to me time it's amazing because we're on a systematic time that was created. The timeline is created. 12 hours on the clock. 24 hours in a day. 1 day. 60 minutes 60 seconds makes a minute. 60 minutes make an hour. All of that was created. So when you break out the matrix, when you break out of the system, when you actually break chains off of your brain and you become free, you no longer are on that time. You can stay up, you can train your body to do almost anything. So for me, I haven't actually been on government time since I woke up. Like I wake up at the same time every day, every night at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. It's almost like between 3 and 4, I'm going to wake up. And when I wake up, it's something that he wants to tell me. And he didn't just wake me up for nothing. Low key, you got to look at it like when you wake up because you was shook. People think they just wake up, but no, he said, wake up. It's time to get up. Get up, get up. Something just woke you up, like your mama waking you up for school in the morning. It's the same system. So I literally didn't have to go through, I'm gonna be on the 12 o'clock time. Oh, it's 3 o'clock. It's 4 o'clock. I don't live off of nobody's time. So by you saying that, it just added to the fact that I know that I'm chosen because I don't go off of other people's time. I don't eat like everyone else. When it comes to eating habits, people look at me and they think, oh, you're so thin. You're so, you're on point. They don't know the health because I'm really just naturally thin. But health-wise, I haven't been working out for this body. I didn't have to do nothing for this body. It's the way I was made. Hold on a second.
Okay, got you. Brian, you want to add on anything from that? Not to be like a brother bragging or anything, but like you said, the vibration is real. And we vibing already before we become an actual manifesting being. It's just that steel is heavier than wood.
Yeah,
so
it's right. That's what it is. That's perfectly what it is. You become like I always say, you write your own program, you rule, and what is it? I don't know if domain is right, but you rule everything you're going to do. You set a focus, you catch what the frequency, the way it moves, and the energy moves, and you have to they catch it in the wind, and you have to.
I want to not to cut you off, brother. I want to bring up a subject. This is going to change the whole tempo. But I just want to bring this out, especially on live broadcasting, because a lot of my people, a lot of my children, a lot of my chosen children of the sun are not aware of the silent weapons of war. And silent weapons of war means that it's not going to be a bomb. It's not going to be a gun. It'll be something you can't see. So that being said, right, something you cannot see, but it's a weapon and it's tearing you down. It's attacking you. And I really want to bring up the subject of Gwen Towers. Gwen Towers. You are a scientist and you have a lot of, knowledge, and I give that to you and I respect you, and I'm honored to be able to share my thought with you because, I know that our frequencies are on the right frequency. I'm on your frequency and the energy is with you. So if I can ask, do you know what a Gwen Tower is?
Scientist?
I'm asking you, scientists, anybody on the line, do you guys know what a Gwen Tower is? It's spelled G as in George, W-E-N as in Nancy. Gwen Towers.
You want to answer that? Still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. No, I'm stumped. I don't know about that. Share that. What is that?
Oh, Gwen Towers, the F Towers, the LEF Towers. They just have them disguised in certain ways, and they call them Gwen Towers, but they're low wave frequencies. The man move on the same frequency wave as the phone. So you have a lot of, you can do that and do the scientific math as that. And part of the first thing that Obama did was took the AM, FM frequency, when you just use the antenna, analog signal, and kept that for themselves, and then gave us the digital signal. So what did they need? Why was that most important to rob us of the analog signal and then keep, make it to a digital system? What do they need that signal for? So that they can pack more bullshit on the Gwen Towers or the F Towers that she spoke of.
Now, to add to that, the information that the Most High gave me as far as the Gwen Towers go, I had initially was introduced to the Gwen Towers because I took a picture. I love taking pictures. I'm a picture fanatic. So when it comes to me, I love pictures. I just feel like, this is my time on earth. And back in the day, our ancestors didn't have a camera in their hand where they could just take a picture of where they at,
Freeze time. They ain't had no time traveling machine, freezing time.
Right. They had to do all kinds of stuff to get a picture. So for me, the pictures was like awesome. I love pictures already. So I'm taking a picture and I posted it up, and someone on my page said, and I know this is one of my messengers, one of my sent angels that the Most High has sent already ordained for me, and was the one that was going to introduce me to the knowledge of knowing what the Gwen Towers were. But at the time, I just posted up the picture. The picture went up, and somebody said, you know what that is? And I'm like, what? I mean, what? I wasn't even aware of what he was talking about because I was just taking a picture. And in that picture, I was standing by a tree that looked like a Gwen. Well, it looked like a tree. It looked like a tree to me at first. Consciously, I did not notice that in the tree. But he said it's a Gwen Tower. It's a manipulating system. It basically is, do your research. He told me to do my research. And so I typed in, what is a Gwen Tower? Gwen Towers are disguised as cell phone towers. They have them all over the United States. They have them all over. I mean, they look like cell phone towers because they have like these, it's the way that they're built that they look like they're sending out some type of signal. And so once I did my research, the Gwen Towers are able to dream for you. They send out low frequencies. They send out low frequencies that can actually send magnetic waves through your brain to make you think a certain way, to make you feel a certain way. Okay, so what they're doing is they're doing this in the masses. So they're sending out these towers that are attached to the chemtrails, that are attached to the heart program, that are sending out thoughts. They're sending out manipulating waves. They're sending out erasing memory, thinking for you, dreaming for you. They can actually, when we have a situation like, oh, Orlando, somebody just walked into the place and just shot up the place. And it looks like they just shot up the place. But in reality, something led them to shoot up the place. Something was in their head to make them say, go do it. You feel me?
Inception. What you describe in the movie Inception, you describe in the movie, I actually know what you're talking about. There's a machine that they built to take in all the information off the internet and all the information and emotions, the computer to certain people. And it's able to predict how you said, predict your next emotion. And it
I mean, they can predict more than that. It's deeper than that. It's deeper than that. It's a hypnotizing system. We look up silent weapons of war. They used this back in the day when Hitler was around. They used this as a weapon. It's a weapon. So if we have weapons that are placed up in our country right now, all over the United States, and they have weapons that are silent, and we know this, and then we can't realize why we wake up in the morning, we turn on the news, and it was just like, dang, all that happened last night?
Well, I'll give you an example. When you wake up, when you've been kicking it and your ears ringing the next day, or the fact that you singing this song in your head 7 o'clock in the morning and you don't know why. That's the if you're aware of it, you know, that's a download. That means they've been overloading your ass if you start getting echoes of it the next day. But yeah, that's why that happens. Killings and certain things.
It happens because right now what they're doing, it's an ethnic cleansing that they're doing on the chosen Jews, right. The true Jews. I'm going to speak it. I'm going to tell it, and I'm going to tell it the way it is. The Most High has awakened my soul, and he promised me that the things that I say are not coming from me. The words that come out of my mouth, yes, my lips are moving, but it's not me moving them. It's the spirit of the Most High. The Most High God has taken over my body, and he told me, and he showed me, and he took me to the top of the mountain, and he showed me the whole land, the new land, the land of Eden, where we just got it made. We ain't got no issues, none. Like, it ain't no, we don't even know what money is. We don't even know what we be like, what's that? Like, you feel me? Like, all we do is go out and have treasure hunts every day. All we do is go out and dig in the earth, and actually we walk down the road and we run into a waterfall full of fresh water, and we don't even know where it came from. It was just there. You might just walk down the road. We all trying to figure out what, you know, why is it always beautiful over here? We don't even need no sun, because the sun is the Son of God, which is the light in me that's going to be able to shine in that place wherever he put me. And I'm saying this because he told me this, and he promised me that the things that I say are not just being said. He promised me. He didn't just tell me to go out and speak to the nation in his name. Don't take the credit. This is what he told me. Do not take the credit. Don't sit up there and be like, oh, you so pretty and you so beautiful and ooh, look at me. No, let me show you who sent me. Let me tell you about who told me to tell you the truth. The truth is, it's already done. Everything that we've been visioning, everything that we've been seeing, everything that we think about is already done. It already happened before. So all we're doing, we died in our past life. When we died in the past life, our ancestors, whoever they were, they never bowed to the king, to the pharaoh, whoever he was, the one that they say was the king, and he was running everything, and he said that y'all gonna have to submit or die. Our people, the ones who woke us up, they didn't submit. And so therefore, because they died in our name, they died so that we could live. And we came back in another form. So we are them living in another body. Queen Nefertiti, Queen Sheba, King Tut.
Right. Because that's the afterlife. That's the purpose of being a god, is to come back and remember who you was. So Cabal told his buddy before he killed himself, because Caesar had took his female, Cleopatra or whoever, and she started fucking with Caesar. In the spiritual realm, it really represents she took an earthly frame of mind. So he killed himself. He couldn't take the pain, and he told his buddy to remind me who I am when I come back. So they're going to meet up in a future life, and they both knew this, and we got with his buddy, which I call Sticks. Godspeed Nation, remind me who I was when I came back. And out of the blue, he didn't know why he said that. He said,
Old man lick. That's a new joint. That's when you pass all 36 chambers. That's the Solomon lick when you say the wise man died, just like the fool. What's life worth? That's when you the master, think you mastered it all. That's when you kind of like, what's next? And, you know, like we do, we feed the birds. And I kind of noticed how the old man feed the birds, but it'll take you to get 50 to 90 years old to start realizing, you know, you should feed the birds. So fuck it, like you about 27, 30, pick up the crackers and feed the birds now. And see what that do. That's kind of like the old man lick. It's almost like being 120 years old with a 30-year-old body. You speed up the evolution process of your mind. And we all going to be an old man someday. So you might well speed up and get there and say, damn, Joe, I'm old as hell with a body I can move fast in the motherfucker. Think about that. Getting there before it's time to get there. You really, it's called age regression. Now you look young for your age. Really 120, but now you look young. Because you not 120 don't mean you not, but whatever's in the mind, if you 20 years old in the mind, that's how old you is. It's all in the mind.
So how would that play out in the physical manifestation?
Yeah, you will show a little bit more mercy. You have a little bit more pizzazz, a little bit more character. Things won't affect you like they used to. You'll know life goes on. Everything gonna be all right no matter what. You're gonna live and you're gonna die. So you'll take it a little bit easier, but you're younger. And you'll throw off a smoother vibe, a more inviting vibe, a more non-confrontational vibe without the glasses. Imagine that. Like on Devil's Advocate. What's his name? He told dude, he said, look, man, he said, I'm unassuming. He said, motherfucker, little old man like me, they don't expect nothing of me. But he said, I get all the pussy, you'll never know. All because I'm unexpected. You got that type of lick. They can see the wisdom in you. You know, your light is shining a little bit brighter. But it ain't ever been did. They never been did before. So this all speculation until it's been did.
What you mean never been did?
Nobody never really did that. Ain't nobody never made themselves old in the mind before their time. Ain't nobody never said, fucking I'm 30, I'm gonna act like an old man. You remember when you was if you was thinking like you was now, say you 30 years old, when you was 15, you'll be ruthless. So imagine you say, fuck it, I'm gonna speed up time, I'm gonna play catch up. I'm 30, so I'm gonna think like I'm goddamn it 100 years old now. Imagine that, the deep wisdom in that, the deep understanding you have in that, non-confrontation you have with your bitch in that. When she started snapping, you just pat her on the ass and pat her on the head and say it'll be alright, you want a cracker. Oh man, it's gonna fuck her up. She's still on the young, fiery, thinking argumental is necessary shit. You goddamn it, old man, you know this ain't necessary. You like, oh, well, you need it to live, so yeah, we're gonna let you have it. You might transform her. We're gonna find out because this is another chamber we finna explore. It's the 38th chamber. Goddamn it, 11th, you know what I'm saying, symbol. Shit that ain't even on the map yet.
So you saying by thinking like an old man at a young age, that it'll give you a lot less stress?
A lot less stress, and it's called age regression. You actually look younger too. You look good for your age. You look like I'm 200 years old. I look like I'm 30. Very good for the stress. Very good, and it helps you practice the art of love.
What do feeding the birds do?
It's the psychic. It helps you block all the psychic shots sent at you through the F towers and the airways. They kind of like your commanders. They redirect that bullshit that sent at you through Smith. Like, you know, they might send a signal in your head till you go left, where you should have went right, you run right into an accident. That type of shit. So the birds redirect them. They fly right past that signal. Bing, 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 bing. All day they watch you and they wait for you when you come outside at attention. Black crows, your generals. So the old man throw out crackers for blessings. He called them blessings, but really they redirecting that bullshit that sent at you. You know what I'm saying? Through the airwaves. That's all.
What bullshit?
Shit, them no spiritual, the witchcraft, that psychic witchcraft, that psychic powers that be sent at you.
What psychic powers moving through the airways are you talking about?
What psychic powers?
So you saying it's witchcraft moving through the air and the birds are redirecting the witchcraft?
Imagine a wireless router. You got a computer. All this fucking information is coming from this little wireless router. She's showing up on this damn screen with no connection. So what the fuck is in between that air? So you mean tell me all this shit right here on this computer screen is actually in the air? And I didn't just being pulled by another receiving conductor from the computer and formulated into an image. So you telling me all this shit is already in air? Imagine TV. You see all these TV programs. Where is it coming from? It got to come from one place to your place, meaning it's already in the air. The mind picks up on this bullshit and it start reacting to that, not its natural thoughts, but to, you know, other thoughts, which we call supreme witchcraft. They keep this thought in the air. So even though you're not watching Barney, you might think about Barney. Like I might be saying anything about Barney right now. That shit right on TV. I'm thinking this, but it's really traveling from that place through my head to that place, and I think Barney. So yeah, you practice your old man. You kind of block all that shit out. You still keep it roll. You know, you think before you move. You say less and show more. That's the old man lick. Think before you move. You show less and say more.
And what would that do for you by doing that?
It'll keep you from dying quicker. It'll slow up your body. It'll slow up the aging. It'll slow up the mind. You know what I'm saying? Blood circulation. It'll not slow it up, but it'll make it faster. But at the same time, it won't slow up your mind as you get older.
And what you mean? You say this a new lick, this a new chamber? What you mean?
We just figured that we brought this one. We pulled this off the ether. Matter of fact, today, and we still in speculation. By the time we figure it out, we'll get with you more. One time we really sit down.
So normally we would never do this. We would never drop a jewel that we just
not
came
a brand
over
new
today.
jewel, but this is the beginning of the Hood X videos. And,
so it's quicker now, right? So how long normally will we take before we drop a jewel that we talk about before we actually drop it?
Months, 2, 3 months. Really a month. Every jewel lasts a month before we put it out there. We gotta confirm it, put our stamp on it.
So we ain't just making shit up and just putting it out there. Like,
hell no, we live this. 15 years I lived this. 15 years I lived this before I even spoke. I ain't just fell into the light like, oh, I've been quiet for 15 years. The tomb starting to shake. Jesus starting to get back his skin cells and shit. His face starting to reconstruct. Now you finna see the gods for real. And don't forget that Jesus hung with the thugs, thieves, and killers. So sometimes you young niggas out there, look at yourself. You might be the Jesus amongst the thugs, thieves, and killers. They hate to preach that one.
Let me ask you this.
One more, what's up?
You saying by acting like an old man and being a little more peaceful, that it'll make it. What type of reaction you think that'll have to, like, if you're in a relationship with somebody?
Well, two people can't argue. It takes two to argue. One up there hollering and you quiet. How that look? That's how it look. She's at the top of her lungs screaming and you sitting there sweeping, smiling at her. Somebody look crazy. You got to know who I am. You want to make it on your own this time.
And we out. Godspeed TV. Thank you. Like, subscribe, share, please. This one dedicated to the Queen. Somebody look crazy, don't they?
Man with a cigarette, I'd always look around for his fitting thread. I'm torn between obsession and hate for the mess that he made me make. Man with a cigarette, I'd always wonder if he always fitting thread. I'm torn between the mess that you made for the mess that you made me make. And I could only have you in my dreams. Oh, so it seems. And I could only have you in my dreams. So it seems. So it seems.
Godspeed TV. Subscribe, share,
could only have my dreams. So it could only have you in my dreams. So it seems.